You're listening to Tim Bulkeley's 5-Minute Bible. E100 Week 1, Genesis 1 to 11. The Bible's Prologue. Many books, perhaps most books, need readers to have some prior knowledge before they can understand them. That's why many print books have a preface or a prologue. And it's why courses in tertiary institutions have prerequisites, things you have to do before you do this particular course. So, stories and books start by setting the scene, getting us up to speed. That's why soap operas have that bit at the beginning that tells you what happened in the last few days, in case you missed them. In the Bible, Genesis does this for us. So, in the book of Genesis, we're introduced to the main characters, to God, or as I'll suggest when I'm presenting reading 1, for the first hearers, Genesis introduced a different God. Genesis introduces Israel, the chosen people, the people in whose story God's relationship to the world will be worked out, and it introduces themes of sin and grace and blessing and others that will be important through the Bible. In short, the book of Genesis sets us up to hear the rest of the Bible. But within Genesis, chapters 1 to 11 do the same sort of thing. It's here that we really discover the Creator God, the single power who made and rules everything. Now, this notion is the one which, in its time, was unique to the Bible. All the other peoples of the earth believed in multiple powers that squabbled, rivaled each other, and out of whose fighting the destiny of the world was determined. The Bible presents one power, in, with, under, and behind the world, above the world, beyond the world, who made the world, and so rules everything. And Genesis 1 to 11 introduces us to that different God. A God who is not like human beings. It also introduces us to human sin. Not just to wrong acts, human sins, but to human sin. The fact that we are wrong. We don't just act wrong. And human sin is a problem that we see in Genesis 1 to 11 can't be solved by natural means. Selective breeding, drastic punishment, separating the offenders from each other. None of those natural and normal means for solving wrong acts solves the problem of human sin. And so we discover one of the other great themes of the Bible, God's love and grace. We discover that the answer to the problem has to come from God. It can't come from us. It has to be a gift. So, running through these chapters 1 to 11 are the twin themes of sin and grace. Old-fashioned words, but really important words to understand if we're to understand the rest of the Bible. Scholars call Genesis 1 to 11 the primeval history. Maybe it's a good description, but I much prefer to think of Genesis 1 to 11 as the preface to the Bible. The chapters that set us up, so that if we've understood them, we can understand just about anything else in the Bible. Sometimes we may need a little bit of backstory to help us, but on the whole, what we need is the stuff we're given in Genesis 1 to 11. So these first 5 readings are really important. Actually, the first 2 days are particularly important. But that's another story.